Now this is a first for me, but not BSA. To find out why, keep watching. Hello and welcome to the GunLocker. Now this really is a first for me because I've never done a review without showing footage of me shooting a rifle outside. I even waited for there to be a break in the weather, and to be honest guys, it's been horrendous lately. What can I say? Heartfelt feelings going out to everybody that's been affected by the floods in my area. I don't know where you guys are in the country. But here in Derbyshire there's been a few towns that have been hit very, very hard with floods, and there have been thousands of people that have been affected by it. So yeah, heartfelt feelings out to all of those guys that are suffering at the moment. That aside, you know, here to do an air rifle review. So woke up this morning and looked outside. The weather was beautiful, sunny, still, warm. Just perfect conditions to do a review. So I scoped up the BSA Lightning, which is what I've got here in front of me. So it's the XL SE 0.22 sub 12 foot-pound version. Scoped it up, took it outside, started zeroing it in, or trying to zero it in, and then failed miserably in getting any sort of a decent group. I mean, groups at 50 plus mil, 2 inches out at 30 meters is just not good enough. And no matter how I tried, what pellets I tried, it was the same. In my mind, that put me off straight away, and there was no way that I was going to film that sorry state of affairs and bore you guys to tears with it, because it was just, to be honest, it was absolutely embarrassing. Now there are reasons why that's happened. I believe there are reasons why that's happened, and I'll go into that in a little bit more detail as I start to rate the rifle. In all honesty, the rating system is completely skewed because I've got no figures to work to with regards to accuracy and with regards to the pellet test. But I'm going to kind of soldier on, and I'm going to get a review out to you so that you know what you're dealing with if you ever consider buying a BSA Lightning XL SE. Let's start off with some tech specs. Okay, so this does have a variant, the GRT, which is gas ram version of this. This is the spring powered one. It's a break barrel. Its price, now this is an X demo, is £325, so it's the same price as the Wolfer LGV that I've just reviewed. And as you can see, it's a traditional sporting air rifle. Quite a pretty little, little rifle. It's not big and it's quite light. I'll get into those details more in a minute. It comes in 2 calibers, .177 and .22, so 4.5mm and 5.5mm. And its total length is 992mm from butt to muzzle end, or 39.06 inches, and its centre of balance from the butt is 440mm, so just short of dead centre. That's 17.32 inches in old money. The reach from the butt to the trigger is 355mm, or 13.98 inches, and its overall weight is 3.31 kilograms, or 7.3 pounds. Now that's almost a kilo lighter than the Wolfer LGV. The stock, well, as you can see, is very pretty. It is ambidextrous. It's made from beech. It's really finished very, very nicely. It's probably the saving grace of this rifle, I have to say. There's some nice checkering to the grip and to the fore end, both sides, ambidextrous, so right-handed or left-handed, and it has a nice little cutout here. Well, it's not a cutout, it's a recess that allows your thumb to sit nicely within that if you want to shoot thumbs up. Otherwise, wrap around, either or. The safety is away from the trigger. It's above here. It's manual. To the rear is safe. Push it forward and it's in fire mode, and it's very smooth. That works quite nicely. But with regards to this stock, if you look, the butt is rubber, it's cushioned, but it's fixed, so it doesn't go up or down, it doesn't go in or out. The cheek piece or comb, again, although it's ambidextrous, is fixed, although there is a nice raise to that which does allow you to get some decent eye alignment once you put a scope on. But it's affected by this, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. With regards to the stock, you can get it in two materials, so you can either get it in the beech or you can get it in synthetic. So it's either going to come as natural wood, as you can see this, or black if it's synthetic. And there are no other features to the stock, so there are no sling studs fitted, nothing, there are no rails or anything like that. What you see is what you get. The chassis itself, so obviously it's spring operated, it's got a steel cylinder, steel barrel. The barrel is cold hammer forged, and again I don't know why manufacturers do this, but they give figures that just aren't true. They're basically saying, if you look on BSA's website, they're saying that the barrel is from the breech all the way through to the end tier, and it's not. It actually finishes where my finger is. So the barrel itself is only 261 millimeters, where I think they're quoting it as being 300 and something millimeters long. And it's short because this is a sound moderator, so the air needs to circulate around in order to deaden the sound. It does have a 1/2 inch UNF thread on the end, which allows you to fit a sound moderator if you want to, and to be honest, I think you'd want to, because this affair doesn't actually deaden it at all. I'll give you the readings in a little while. So with regards to the rest of the metalwork, we've got this, what they call a maxi grip scope rail. Why it's there, I have no idea. Maxi grip would kind of lead you to believe that it's going to give you a better fixing for your scope, but if you have a solid one-piece mount, or if you have a split mounts that have got the restricting or the anti-movement screw in the back, there's no need for this. All this does, in my opinion, is give yet another reason for an inaccuracy to come about. If that loosens, it moves, you know, what's the point? I'm guessing that BSA have actually fitted it because there's no offset from the scope rail to the barrel, and your scope sits quite low. But to be honest, you know, when you're shooting a rifle, the lower the scope, the better sometimes, because you're trying to keep that scope in line with the trajectory of the pellet or the bullet. So this here is an absolute nonsense as far as I'm concerned. There's just no point to it. There really isn't. With regards to the rail that's on top, it is 207 millimeters long, or 8.15 inches. It's 11.69 mil wide, or 0.46 of an inch, and like I said, there's no offset from the height of the rail to the top of the barrel. If there is, it's about a millimeter. And then let me kind of head back towards the trigger. The trigger, as you can see, is a standard blade, two-stage affair. The first stage travel is okay, it's not too long. The second stage travel is short, but it does take a lot of effort to pull the trigger, and because you're squeezing and squeezing quite hard, you're not sure when the rifle is going to release. That makes it harder to be accurate, that's for sure. But like I said, I was struggling to even group with this, so you know, doesn't matter how good the trigger is, if the rifle's not shooting straight, it's not shooting straight. And I'll explain why I believe it's not in a second. What else can I say? So going back to that barrel, it's cold hammer forged. It's 261mm long, or 10.28 inches in length. The moderator length is 205mm, or 8.07 8.07 inches long, and it has a diameter of 25.29mm, or just short of an inch. Now if you look at BSA's website and you look at their factory figures, you'll see that they quote 12 foot-pound 16 joules for both the .177 and the .22. In .177 they're achieving speeds of 806 feet per second, or 246 meters per second, and they're saying that in the .22 version they're achieving speeds of 174 meters per second, or 570 feet per second. Now I can tell you now, I wasn't achieving those speeds. It appears to me that there's certain things going off here with BSA. One, the marketing is not accurate. The information that they're providing isn't accurate. For sure the barrel length isn't the length that they were quoting on their site, and I know that the power output isn't the same as they're quoting on their site. Why they do this, I have no idea. Maybe it's trying to entice people into buying the product. I don't know. I really don't know. But guys, that's basically the tech specs done. What I'm going to do now is talk to you about accuracy and performance and rate the rifle. I'll also talk to you about design and build as well, and I'll give you my opinion as to why this isn't shooting straight. This is going to be interesting. So as I say, it's a first. I've never created a review without actually filming me shooting the rifle outside and without getting some score sheets, but for accuracy it gets 0 out of 5 stars. There is no way that I would ever take this rifle out to shoot game or vermin with such a spread. It's just, you're more likely to maim the animal than you are to dispatch it cleanly, and that's not right. It's just not right. Yeah, so for accuracy it gets 0 out of 5 stars. It just does. I hate to say it, but it does. For handling, well, at 7.3 pound in weight, it's actually quite light, and it's balanced quite nicely. It sits in the shoulder well, and the weight, you know, you can hold this all day long, and it's something that's quite pointable, and you imagine that it would do the job well. Good for both field work and for the bench, although it could be a little bit heavier for the bench, but you know, if the business end of the rifle worked well, then this as a package would be good, no two ways about it. So for handling, it scores 3.5 out of 5 stars. For loading, well, it really is quite simple. All you do, give it a little bit of a knock to actually cock the rifle. I'm not going to cock it because there's no point, but you cock it all the way down, pop a pellet in the end, make sure that you hold the barrel whilst you're doing it, and back it goes. Very simple. Nothing really to fall out with there. 4 out of 5 stars. The trigger, like I've already said, it's okay. You know, I'm not going to bang on about it. It's okay. It gets 3 out of 5 stars. There is some adjustment to be done there. Had it been my rifle, well, one, I wouldn't buy it, but if it was my rifle, you know, there's some adjustment that can be made, I'm sure. Now, remember I talked about factory figures and power outputs. Well, this isn't giving us 12 foot-pound of energy. It's just simply not. I put some Hades through it. They were 15.89 grains, and this was kicking out 10.91 foot-pound, which is up there. I mean, you know, it's a fair amount of power, but it's not the 12 that they're quoting on their website. I was getting speeds of between 553 feet per second to 560 feet per second. So 6.7 feet per second spread, which is pretty good. Yeah, so it gets 4 power, it gets 4 out of 5. Now, noise levels. What's the point of having a moderator on the end of the barrel if it doesn't silence the rifle, or if it doesn't deaden it significantly? All of this is surplus to requirements. In my mind, BSA would have been better off giving it a decent length of barrel, still put a 1/2 inch UNF on the end, and provide, you know, or you go out and you buy yourself a sound moderator that will do the job, because this is kicking out 88 decibels. It barks, it really does. So for noise levels, it's scoring 3 out of 5 stars. Now we come to my favourite part, value for money. Well, I mean, if you've seen all my previous reviews, you'll know that basically, for me to score it, it needs to be able to group, it needs to be able to shoot accurately at distance, and this simply doesn't do that. It really doesn't. So for my mind, if I was paying £325 for this plus another £150 for a scope, so I've paid £475, and I can't group under 2 inches or 50 mil at 30 meters, it's just a waste of money. I can't give it a score other than 0 out of 5. I would not buy it. I hate to say it, but I just simply would not buy it. So overall, for accuracy and performance, the rifle scores 2.7 out of 5 stars. It has some saving graces, but the fact that it doesn't shoot straight just makes it, in my mind, redundant. Anyway, to the last part of this review, we're talking about design and build. For aesthetics, well, it's a pretty looking gun. You guys know that I like traditional sporters, and it looks quite nice. So I've given it 4 out of 5 because there's nothing really to fall out with. Although that's ugly. For ergonomics, well, again, if you've seen my previous reviews, you'll know that ergonomics for me is all about how adaptable the item is after you've purchased it. So what you can do to it to make it more comfortable. There's no adjustment here at all. There's nothing that you can do with the butt. You can't move it in and out. You can't shape it. You can't raise the comb. You can't put any accessories on the fore end. You can't put any accessories on the metalwork. It's just basically what you see is what you get. So it's never going to score highly with regards to ergonomics. And in fact, I've given it 2.7 out of 5 stars. Right, so build quality. What can I say here? Alright, let's talk about the stock. The stock, nice piece of beech, nicely finished, nicely checkered. Yeah, that's going to score 4 out of 5. It really is. It's a nice stock. With regards to the metalwork, that's a different thing entirely. The reason why this rifle will never shoot straight is that where the barrel meets the breech, it's loose and it actually waggles. Now, I said to you guys before when you've seen my other reviews that with brake barrels, and I'm never keen on them, because whenever you put a pivot point, a break point between the muzzle and the scope, when that barrel closes and shuts into place, there's always a chance of some movement, and if there's movement at this point, that's going to be exaggerated at the target some 30 meters away. And there's movement in this. You can actually waggle the barrel, you can feel it move, and each time it does that, it's never going to center up exactly where it was last time. Now, it may not appear much here, but like I say, it's exaggerated at distance, and that's why I couldn't get this rifle to group under 50mm at 30 meters. And if you look at the way that's been constructed, well, basically the locking part of the breech on the barrel has just simply been welded to the underside of the barrel itself. It's not part of a block. There's too much room. It's not the same. Look, I'm going to pop up an image of the Wolfer LGV now, and I've got it to my side here. The difference is, this is one solid lump of metal that the barrel goes through, and there is no movement there whatsoever. I mean, it's solid. German engineering, yeah? They've made sure that when that barrel goes back into the breech, when it locks in place, it cannot move, and that's going to give you consistent accuracy. Whereas this, it never will. Not in my mind. It's just a cheap way of doing things, and it shows. The end results show. Or in this case, they've not shown because I've been too embarrassed to put the footage out there. I don't want to put my name to it, that's for sure. So with regards to the build quality, the action and the chassis, well, they get 2 out of 5. They really do. It's just, I guess the saving grace is this cold hammer forged barrel, but what's the point of an accurate barrel if it's not locked in place? And unfortunately it isn't on this Lightning XL SE. So it scores 3.3 out of 5 stars for build quality. And lastly, safety design. Well, I've already mentioned that the safety's well away from the trigger, which is great. It is a manual safety, so that's going to let it down in my mind. I prefer automatics, especially on hunting rifles, because you know, you go out and about, the rifle's cocked, you move around, accidents happen. You know, if it's an automatic safety, at least when the rifle's cocked, you know that you've got some chance of not actually firing that rifle accidentally. With this, if it's in fire mode and you knock it, or you slip and your finger's on the trigger, that's going to discharge. So it's good that it's away from the trigger and it's smooth, it operates well. So for that, for the positioning, for the operation is good. For the fact that it's manual rather than automatic, okay, you know, that this, we're going to let it go. I've given it 3.5 out of 5 stars. No point me saying much more than that. So that's it, that's the rating system done. If I tally up all the scores, I get a total figure of 3 out of 5 stars for performance and accuracy, for design and build. But all of that lot is just pure hot air, because at the end of the day, I would never take this rifle out vermin shooting or small game hunting, because in my mind there's too high a risk of maiming the animal as opposed to dispatching it cleanly. For me, it's a no-go, and it's a real shame, because I'm not out to diss manufacturers, and I would love to give BSA a good rating, because they're a local, well, I say local, they're Birmingham based, you know, they're not too far away from me. I would love to give them a good review, I really would. I've got an R12 that's lined up, ready and waiting for a review, so I'm hoping to have good things with that. But so far, this and the Scorpion, in my mind, have let BSA down, and they've let BSA down badly. So guys, if you do watch these reviews, please do something about your quality control, because I've got guys that are making comments on my reviews saying that BSA, you know, wouldn't let things like this slip with regards to quality control. I'm sorry, but what I'm finding is that yes, they are letting standards slip. This could be made a lot better, it really could. And in my mind, for the same price, I would go for the Wolfer LGV without question. That, you know, there is no question there, absolutely none whatsoever. The Wolfer LGV trumps this any day of the week, any month of the year, any year of the decade. You know, it's just, I wouldn't touch this with a barge pole, sorry, but I just wouldn't. Guys, that's the review done and dusted. Yeah, shame it wasn't a good one. Shame I didn't get you the footage of me shooting outside, but I was just too embarrassed to do that. Let's hope the next one you'll get to see a little bit more. For now, stay safe, shoot safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.